This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, check, Mike 21.
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Ready. 10 Lobo. Mike. All day. Yo, go. Go on. Hey, Charlie. Go.
They'll look to throw here. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 Fs for a rookie quarterback.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try to get this offense going with Michel. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All day, every day, any day. He's crashing. He's checking off. Deuce. Go. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the one.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker, his 2nd sack of the night.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Dolphin football.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. And opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
At the 29-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Balaj. He finds an opening past the 40. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kalen Balaj, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll run on 1st down. Swift, and a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. John Simon in on the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, come on now, come on now.
Here's 2nd and 8. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's going to look end zone here for Cooper, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Devin McCourty picks it off, and he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Cooper was the target there. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Last play they went over 20 yards. This time they topped 30.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. And a short gain down to about the 33. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
New England on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. To throw again is Jackson. He's going to go for a big play down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got a first down past the 30. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kalen Ballage, 82 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd down 6 at the 22-yard line.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Sponge, sponge, sponge. No, take off.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
And it's 3rd down. 3rd and 12.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They go play action with Jackson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A pickup of 27. And they pick up the first down in the process.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. All day, baby, all day, all day, all day. That's it.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39.
I got it.
Hey, check Mike.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And he'll get that to Michelle, complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And the shuffle pass to the running back goes for no yardage, but they used to call that the Utah pass, made famous by Coach Cactus Jack Curtis and his quarterback, Lee Grosscup.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Short. Zip this. Yo. Yo.
No, check that. We want Mike.
Now Jackson. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line. And Jackson throwing once more. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check 55 to Mike. Rip left, rip left. Hayward. 55 Mike, guys, 55. I got wide. Shut up.
Throwing again. Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Michelle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Keeping it on the ground on 1st, Michelle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. From the gun, they run with Michelle. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, Jackson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 13, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and...
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, 76 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Miami, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they'll sink now to 0-4. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.